Read the BCCRSS, everybody. There's no excuses anymore. The defiant ego legal namer will always deny the God, will always deny truth. Don't be like the legal name. Per multa discrimina rerum. Murder. Phonics is phonetics. So that's it. It's Cave of Gaia on the music in the background. Yeah, it's real easy, everybody. It's a legal choose legal name. Get the word out. Get the word out, everybody. So, people, they try to antagonize me by asking me about the BCCRSS, when it's like, you don't know how to go to bccrss.com? That's pretty lame. I was thinking about how stupid it is, how selfish and irresponsible it is to not read the BCCRSS, and how I've been telling you so for going on almost 3 years now. Really good for the last year or two, because every day I get the word out, I get better at getting the word out, knowing what's going on. So it's harder for you to deny, because your ego wants to argue with me, find something you don't like about me or whatever. But I'm not the body, and it's just the truth. It has nothing to do with me. Is it or is it not illegal to use a legal name? Birth certificates are not to be used for identification purpose. Yeah. That's how it goes. You want to be the cog in the matrix. The Cave of Gaia in the matrix. You don't want to be the cock in the matrix. Crown on copyright. In the malicious tricks of the legal name fraud, serpentine, coil, hijack, legal name fraud. Take responsibility. I took responsibility. I just said, look, I was going along with that evil. I got tricked, and I'm not going to get tricked anymore. I'm going to get the word out. Sound good? All contracts null and void. Now who's the boss now? Truth Almighty. 10 Commandments. You got to remove the mark of the beast with the birth certificate fraud. Clause leverage sextantibus, and then you got to follow 10 Commandments, and then that's when you'll know, oh dang, Cave of Gaia, KRST, BCCRSS, 10 Commandments, one heart, one Father, one God, truth. It's illegal to use legal name. So the legal name fraud is the cult. So anytime they try to call it a cult or a cult is just hidden truth. So they tell you the truth, but they obfuscate the truth, or they tell you 99% lies and sprinkle in the truth, or they tell 99% lies, which is what they do, and you can't avoid the truth because the phonetics explains, the phonetics reveals everything, intent and everything. But you can't negate or oppose the original speaker's original true intent, which is when you're standing in truth, is pure truth. Infinite truth, infinite timelines, infinite universe, infinite power. So I'd rather take knowing one truth than believing all of the lies. That's all. And so you want to get all wrapped up in other people's emotional dramas when it's like that's just distracting you from your own overcoming of self, which is the ego self. That's all. That's all there is to it. You're just an ego-driven legal name fraud felon, and you're a criminal until you remove the mark. Now, I see you for what you really are, so I'm like God and everything is real patient. You wouldn't believe how patient God is. So just know that God loves you, and God's patient, but there's a time when it will end, and all the knees will bend. The whole world. So just deem yourself worthy to stand in the last day. That's the rapture. That means everybody dies, but certain people are going to make it out because they were the ones that love God the most. Truly love God. Even though everyone was calling them crazy and stupid and not listening and everything, that's fine. Just like Marvel or That Way says, just like in the days of Noah, nobody listened to Noah. And it's another story there in all itself, because nothing is ever. It's simple, but it's complex. Legal name fraud, that's simple. Fraud, don't do it. Fraud, crime, death. You don't want to be dead. You don't want to be criminal. Commit crime, then you're criminal. Legal name fraud paints the same brush where everyone's a criminal. It's just who can pay the Baal worship more. They'll look like less criminal, but they'll be more, because they're able to use spell trickery on you, with the news and the movies and the music and the clothing and, basically all the stuff. Trash truck just rolled up. Today's trash pickup day. So, yep, there you go, everybody. I'm brushing my hair. Learning how to do that. I didn't know that you have to kind of take care of yourself like this. The beast pretty much becomes your pet. You know what I'm saying? You need to go be strict with your pet. Like drinking the pee is strict with your pet. Like you drink that fucking pee and you don't complain about it. It's what you gotta do to survive out here. You have to have courage enough to do it. Know thyself. Overcoming the flesh. Okay. So there it is for everybody. I noticed the girl at the coffee shop really looking at my shirt. How it said Google legal name fraud. With the back of Lisa Simpson standing there. In front of legal name fraud. Little screens, little lights. Well, what did you do with your life while you were there? Did you serve God? Did you look for God? Did you find God? Or did you just lie to yourself and tell yourself all this fantasy fairy tales and run around for the Crown Corporation saying that you're never going to read the BC RSS, which is the BC clause? The birth certificate fraud, clause libertas extantibus, known as the BCC RSS, escape clause, and the legal name fraud, legal death called birth certificate fraud. Necromancy, intent to enslave and kill a child via fraud, non-disclosure, deception. Deception is worse than fraud. Fraud's just like you're stupid and you fucked up. Okay? Deception is like they know exactly what they're doing. They're setting a trap for you because they know that they've created a stupid fucking Frankenstein with the legal name fraud. Okay? Legal. It's how Satan rules through the world through legal and can trick you into fighting for your own enslavement because they're really good at it. And it's not just that, it's the spiritual contracts and everything. So the ego wants to make you think that the spiritual contracts are not binding, when in fact all birth certificates are null and void. They're only proof of intent to be an accessory to murder of a child after the fact with intent knowingly. So you don't inherit the keys to the kingdom of heaven with that fucking mindset. So you gotta change your mind about a lot of stuff. You can't go along. You gotta ask yourself why you can't go along without eating meat, because you gotta start doing some soul searching and shadow work. My friend said she took mushrooms I gave her, and then she saw the aliens eating all the stuff, and I'm just like, yeah. She's like, it's not because of you. I'm like, oh, that's the ego thinking it's not. I run everything here. You know, the center of creation of my fractal. I'm the center of my creation of fractal. Okay? Alright. It's legal to use legally.